Tupac's biological father, William Garland, a response to Billboard magazines saying that Jay-Z is better than Tupac and the best rapper of all time. What do you think? Let's get into some of this straight game.
Yeah. Blackjack. Life is like a game of cards. It's not what you dealt, but how you play it. Yeah. Blackjack. To play each situation correctly. I remember they used to laugh at a brother.
Welcome back, guys. Welcome back. It's your boy DELRAY, Richardson, platinum artist, platinum songwriter, Straight Game TV. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate your time. Do me a favor, hit the little thumbs up button. Also, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And like I always say, tell a friend. And if this is your first time tuning in to Straight Game TV and you would like to be one of the first people notified when I drop some of this straight game, please do me a favor and hit that little bell notification right below the video. I'm going to get right into it. Ladies and gentlemen, Tupac, well, should I say Billboard magazine has just put out a best rapper of all time list. And Tupac father has chimed in via his Facebook. What's up, Mr. Garland? How you doing? And it's interesting what his response was in regards to Billboard actually saying that Jay-Z is the best rapper of all time, if you will. So that would basically make Tupac number 4 on the list, if you will. And so most people would, you like who you like, but Jay-Z being the best rapper of all time, as far as Billboard magazine is concerned, is for clicks and for views at this particular point. There's no way on God's green earth that Jay-Z is the best rapper of all time. Personally, if you want to ask me, I think that Jadakiss is better than Jay-Z. If you want to deal with those facts, Jadakiss is a better lyricist than Jay-Z. Wordplay, authenticity, everything that Jadakiss comes with, when you sit down and you listen to his music, he definitely lays it out. Jay-Z's dope, you know what I mean? But when you talk about top 10, there's a lot that goes into that. So, but let's deal with the situation at hand. William Garland, Tupac's father, biological father, chimed in, and basically this is what he had to say. He said, Billboard revealed their top best rappers of all time in honor of the hip-hop's 50th anniversary. Jay-Z tops the list as the greatest rapper of all time. Makes Tupac number 4 on the list. Meanwhile, no other rapper has been able to break Pac's music records to date. My personal opinion, only in the minds of commercial success is Jay-Z better. No rapper has more influence on a society than Tupac. Jay-Z is an accepted capitalist who speaks about nothing truly relevant to black people's plight. Talented, no doubt. Best? Not in our world. I agree with that. 100%. 100%. And when you talk about, as I've talked about before, if it wasn't for Tupac, Jay-Z wouldn't be where he is today. In the namesake of, we taking it for what it is. I'm not talking about all of the stuff that came after Tupac mentioned his name in Machiavelli. I always bring this to the forefront because most people don't know. They only know what they see today. Right? And so, Tupac mentioning Jay-Z and Machiavelli, talking about Hawaiian Sophie and so on and so forth. That was the thing that gave Jay-Z the buzz that he needed, because up until that point, he really hadn't sold any records or really hadn't made any kind of impact in hip hop. Period. And so when Billboard comes out with this list, they're totally disregarding the facts in which history shows us and can tell us the truth about the matter. And so when they do that, they're only pandering to Jay-Z. I get it. I understand it. But when we deal with the facts, like I said, once again, Tupac at that particular time thought that people were siding against him and siding with Biggie at that particular time. And we're talking hip hop, you know what I mean? From that perspective, and Pac was a staunch guy believing in, coming at you if he felt like you were, against him or coming at him from that perspective. So when Billboard made this list and Tupac's father, Mr. Garland, he chimed in. It's true. Jay-Z's a capitalist. And at this particular point, at one time, talked about a lot of things in which destroyed our community, right? Tupac never really did that. Tupac didn't try to come up off of the backs of the ghetto from the perspective of talking about, selling crack and, what it was like to be a crack dealer and so on and so forth, and basically glamorizing that lifestyle. Though I'm not, Jay-Z telling his experience and what he did and so on and so forth, I'm with that. But there was a certain type of music that the record companies were interested in, if you will, and it was like, it seems like the worst part of us and who we were was the best part of what they wanted and what they wanted to exploit. Basically making young, impressionable minds believe that, this is possibly a way out for you, if you will, right? So when you deal with the it's like that, it's like the LeBron James, Michael Jordan comparison, if you will. And so when you deal with that, no, Jay-Z was not better than Tupac. He was not more impactful than Tupac. Even when Tupac was alive, Tupac showed that, even in jail, once again, the numbers that he did, who does those kind of numbers in jail, beating out Bruce Springsteen, period. You talking about All Eyes on Me after he comes out of jail. Who did those kind of numbers? Nobody. With a double album, nobody. And also, like I said, even at that time, Jay-Z, he couldn't even get a buzz. Wasn't nothing happening. Tupac had the whole lane and the lane to himself. It wasn't until Tupac's death and Tupac was so ahead of the game that he had a whole nother couple of albums ready when they dropped Machiavelli. And in that album, for the people who don't know, the new people, in that album, once again, he dropped Jay-Z's name. And that gave Jay-Z the buzz that he needed to get over the hump. Period. Bottom line. And Jay-Z knows it. Period. Even with when you talk about, I talked about Biggie, most people want to believe that, people want to say this about Pac and Biggie was on this. No. You don't know what you're talking about. I watched Tupac bring Biggie on stage. Let him get his thing off. Tupac was the hottest thing in the game. Talking about what, 93? Coming into 93, the movie, all of that. Tupac was hitting on two notes. The film thing and the music thing. And so anything that he was dealing with, touching, and like I said, people that he was dealing with, he gave Biggie the opportunity to be seen by more people. And so, like I said, once again, the people that have stood on Tupac's back, and for Billboard to actually come out and say, yo, Jay-Z's the best rapper of all time. Jay-Z's not better than Rakim. Period. He knows it. You seen the other day, they had a video when Jay-Z was walking down the tunnel, I think of the Staples Center, crypto.com center, and he ran into Rakim. And he told Rakim,
Look at the God. Thank you, brother. Thank you for everything. Thank you for the roads you paid. For the roads you paid. Peace. Right back.
Thanks for opening all of those lanes. Thank you for all the lanes you created. Period. And so, once again, to create the conversation, but like Mr. Garland, Tupac's father, said, there's no other rapper that has more influence in society than Tupac. And he's no longer even here. We've seen Jay-Z involved with the debacle with the NFL and how that was a failure, if you will. Yeah, it was a failure. You know, Colin Kaepernick tried to stand up, you know, and you know, Jay-Z joined the forces and, you know, tried to come in and say we were done with this thing, you know, kneeling and so on and so forth. And they never done anything about it. We've so long moved past the young man who just collapsed on the field. You understand what I'm saying? And nobody's talking about any kind of protocol. Notice when you hear people stay silent, man. You know, and like I said, once again, but as far as being the greatest of all times, yeah, Billboard, once again, they're pandering. You know, one year was Eminem, now it's Jay-Z, you know. So it's this new thing every year to get people talking. Like I'm talking right now, but more importantly, the conversation I'm having is in reference to Tupac's biological father, William Garland, and his response, basically, that Jay-Z is an accepted capitalist who speaks about nothing truly relevant to the black plight. And that is a fact at this particular point. And he doesn't have to, but that's true. You know, some of the stuff that Tupac was talking about in his music still resonates with us today, so much so that people actually go back to some of the words that he had spoke at that particular time that are relevant today. That's when you make an impact. That's when you are truly important. And the words that you say, the songs that you wrote, you know, where's Jay-Z's Dear Mama? Where's Jay-Z's Brenda's Got a Baby? Right? Come on. You know, we're talking about impactful records. I get it. But at the end of the day, the greatest of all time, the greatest MC of all time, top 10, I'm going back. I'm Melly Mel. I'm Grandmaster Melly Mel. I'm Rakim. I'm KRS-One. I'm Big Daddy Kane. I'm Cool G Rap. All those guys, you know, those are the greatest rappers of all time. They laid the blueprint. You know, like I said, once again, what Mr. Garland said, basically from the commercially successful, if you will, and you can't even really, you know, give that to Jay-Z. If you want to go commercially successful rappers of all time, I would have to go with Eminem. I mean, if we go in that route, as far as that's concerned. And so, yeah, you know, and I can't forget, my bad, you know, Nas, you got Black Thought, you know what I mean? You got LL Cool J, you know, these guys are phenomenal MCs, you know, so once again, yeah, I think Mr. Garland has a point. And like I say, I agree with him on an accepted capitalist who speaks nothing truly relevant to the black plight, you know. And so, in just the way that, like I said, when you deal with the facts of the matter, yeah, that's just what it is. And so, yeah, Billboard got this one wrong. Jay-Z is not the best rapper of all time by a far stretch. But I do understand, you know, if you want to get people to click and view and talk about, you know, your magazine to bring more attention, just like I just did, then that's what you do. But Jay-Z is not better than Tupac. No, period. You know, and like I said, once again, what proved that is when Tupac was, and the fact, not that I think that because I think that in my feelings, but the fact of the matter is when Tupac was alive, none of them could breathe. Nobody was selling no records. Tupac had the whole lane, and he had the lane to himself, so much so that anybody named that Tupac had mentioned got a little extra buzz, as Jay-Z did, as Chino XL did, as Mobb Deep did, as Biggie did, you know, and the whole 9 yards. When you deal with that, that is a fact. Your boy DELRAY, straight gang.